Alright, just I'm going to make a video here on a set of Speedmaster / Pro Comp heads. I bought them loaded. You can buy them bare. Most people buy them bare and they build it themselves so they know the quality of valve spring, and you know, the valve job and all that they do themselves. But I just want to go over this and just see what I find. I've done a lot of small block MOPAR heads, a ton of them, but they always been cast. Just if you want to know a real quick a few things that I see right off the top. One is they used Healy coils. That's a good thing. Inside the rocker shaft, so you don't want to bolt straight through. They don't want just to tap the aluminum for them. That's one good thing. The other thing is the actual core of this. I'm looking for core shift. I'm looking for just the alignment itself. And I'm going to bring gaskets up here, and I'm going to actually look at the gaskets, how they fit. I'll go through all of that. But just if my first instinct looking at this head, it's a very good casting. Okay, the first thing we're going to do is check to see if the valves are sealing. If you were to buy this head and just bolt it on without checking anything, or will the valves seal? Okay, so to do this, there's two ways you can do it. You can get carb cleaner, you can get brake cleaner, and just squirt it in the ports. I buy rubbing alcohol. It's very, very cheap, way cheaper than brake cleaner. I'm just going to pour it in there till the whole seat is covered, and I'm going to look to make sure nothing leaks out from down here. And then when I'm done, I'll just pour those two ports right inside this cup, and it's just alcohol. It won't hurt a thing. Okay. Okay, I got both seats covered. And now we'll see if we get anything to leak out the two intake valves. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the same thing to these ones, and then I'll flip the head around and I'll do the same thing to the exhaust. And if I get any leaks, I'll show you. You don't need to see me do the whole entire test. I'm just going to do all this. Other ways to check it would be to be in a completely dark room, shine a flashlight in the port, and see if you get any sliver of light around each of the valves. Okay, we did the alcohol test. It evaporates very fast. It's relatively a harmless thing. You can get it on you, on a dish. It isn't going to matter. I poured it back in here and poured it back in here. I can use it for the other head. All right, another test is that you want to do when you get heads, and it doesn't matter if they're Pro Comp, Edelbrock, Pro Max. You should anyways measure the top of the valve stems with a level, not so much a level but a straight edge. I put two things up here, a piece of glass up here that was perfectly flush. I put another thing up here that's perfectly flush, and this valve right here is about, I'd say 5 thousandths higher than the rest. The rest are equal. It appears that it wants to rock on this one and this one only, and when you hold it perfectly flush on the top of this valve, the gap is the same across here. Okay, so what would cause that would be one of two things. Either the seat is sunk a hair, or the valve was formed a hair taller. Okay, I'll have to see, you know, what my options are, what I want to do, if I want to look at the valve or what. But anyways, just another thing to inspect when you get a set of heads. All right. So as far as the valve sealing, they did a pretty good job. I couldn't get anything to leak here, and I know that's not like some people can pressure test them with air and give it more extensive, but I have always found if a valve seals with something really thin like carb cleaner or rubbing alcohol, and or you can't see daylight or any slivers of light around here in a pitch black room with a flashlight shining through the port, it's going to seal your compression. If you do a compression test, it'll be pretty much even across the board. I started with A here, and then A, B, C, D, E, F, G all the way through. And then on the next head, I'll do number 1, and then I'll do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to disassemble these heads. I'm going to put these right back in the exact same port that they came out of. And I'm going to take them apart, and we're going to see what we have in here and check the valve guides. There's more accurate ways, but this is how you could do this at home. All right, got the valves all out. The seats look good. I don't see anything like chatter or any nicks. I didn't expect to, or we'd have lost our alcohol and we poured it into the ports. The bowl area looks really good. The only thing I do see is where they press the seat in, there's a slight burr right here that goes around. And you could put it together. It's not going to hurt anything. The only thing is if you really wanted to get nitpicky, you'd want to go inside there about 1 minute with a real soft stone or something on the end of a Dremel. Even a sand grit would remove that in a heartbeat. Okay, and all of them have it. The other thing I'll point out is, as a performance head should, it doesn't have the back. You don't, like, this is original 188 out of a Chrysler. It's got this back face here. A lot of people back face this. They come down, they grind this out, so you don't have this to where when the intake comes in, it catches and swirls back up the port. This obviously doesn't have that lip. Okay, so other than that, it has shims. You don't want to lose any of these. Trying to think if there's anything else there's to show you at this point. So I did not find any foreign substance or anything in the ports or seats or anything that was going to, had I had run it as it was, that would cause a problem. So as far as valve guides go, okay, what I do is clean out the valve, clean off their lubricant inside here, and I put this inside here. I open it up about, a little less than a ½ inch. And if I can wiggle this back and forth, you probably can't see it, but I can feel it. See it rock? Just a hair, and it just drops right in. So, is that the most precise way to check it? Nope. But again, this is for how you can go over these at home and see if you're going to have any problems when you put it on your car. So, virtually, the valves were sealed. We numbered them. They're going back in their same port. The valve guides all checked out okay. All of them have just ever so slight movement, and they drop right in, so we're probably not going to seize up a valve. So overall, I'm pretty impressed to this point. Another test I like to do is make sure all the pedestals are the same height. Okay, so I have a brand new rocker shaft here. Place it on there to see if there's any gap from this side to this side, if it wants to teeter anywhere, just to see how it sits, how flush it sits. I can always rotate it too to confirm if there's any slop from one side to the next. So it looks like they got the saddles good. Alright. As far as weight, 48.6 for a factory cast head. 22.8 for the cast aluminum head. They're both bare, obviously. So, about a 26-pound difference. Look at the flash on the factory cast for the oil return. Look at this one. Okay. Look at the cast of the Speedmaster. A little bit of flash, but hardly anything. Another thing I like to do is put a gasket on here. Put the bolts, snug them up so the gasket don't move. And you can see when I said the heads look good, I didn't see minimal core shift or anything like that. Look how nice a fit this is around the ports. Both of them. That's a great casting. Around the water jacket here. About like a factory cast head, just a little bit off toward the inside. That's what you would see. But look around the intakes. That's really impressive. So, and I'll do the same exact thing to the exhaust side. And these heads look really good. You want to go with? Let's go to the storage shed. You want to go?